Miau und willkommen zurück bei Virtuous Last Reward und diesmal werden wir gegen Luna mit Ally stimmen. Einfach nur, weil Betrayer letztes Mal nicht so gut geklappt hat, ne? Gut. Und?
Hey, Sigma, are you insane? Why the hell did you choose Ally?
Wait. We can't talk about that later. Right now... She's gone. Where'd she go?
That's odd. We came out the moment the gates opened.
Ja, weil sie gar nicht
There's
abgestimmt
no way
hat.
she could have left already.
Denn... Sie hat gar nicht abgestimmt. There it was. I thought so she didn't pick it up. Without the bracelet, she couldn't have voted.
Then she let the system vote Ally for her?
Vielleicht ist sie das System.
Results from round 3. Please direct.
Wir haben alle 9 BP. Right, the results.
Yeah. Let's go have a look.
Das heißt, wir können mit Luna, Phi, Sigma und Quark raus. Das sind 4 Leute, mit denen wir raus können. So viel hatten wir noch nie. Und keiner davon ist ein Terrorist. Die sind alle tot, ich weiß. Und wir haben alle geallied. Und somit haben wir alle einen 9 BP. Gut.
Points. Please
Ich
check
weiß
your
schon. Guck mal, wir sind immer noch ein Pair. Magenta Pair. Since Luna didn't vote, she got set to ally automatically. And the other 6 got penalized. Ja, das weiß ich doch, wie das mit den Regeln funktioniert hier. Then again, 5 of them are already dead. We don't know where Quark is, but his bracelet's already off.
Yeah. That means all those penalties are meaningless. Why did Luna show up then? I mean, we've got our 9 BP now, but...
Ja. Sie auch.
Alright, what do you want to do, Sigma? Do you want to leave?
What? You kidding, right? Weren't you the one who kept going on about how Quark's still alive? You can't just run off and leave him here.
You sure?
Yeah.
Well, that's a relief. I was hoping you'd say
Okay.
that. Now let's get moving. We need to find Quark.
And Luna too, right?
Luna.
Sie muss ja nicht unbedingt böse sein, nur weil sie ein Roboter ist. Ich habe eine ganz lange Zeit gedacht, dass Sigma ein Roboter ist und habe nicht gedacht, dass er böse ist.
The Ambidex gates have closed. Round 4 of the Ambidex
Ich weiß, das ist auch die...
Star Keys.
Wir haben die Star Keys, ja. Die wiederholt sich einfach nur. Okay, sie ist jetzt ein Solo. Fi and I checked our bracelets. Out of sheer reflex, I was a magenta pair, just like before, but Fi had changed to a red solo. It really didn't matter, though. Both of our bracelets showed the number 9. All we had to do was open the number 9 door, and we'd never have to play another AB game again.
Alright. Quark comes first. Let's go.
Ja, aber wir könnten eventuell noch durch die Tür, ne? Da ist noch eine Tür, durch die wir nicht durch waren. Oder es waren mehrere weiße Türen, durch die wir noch nicht durch waren. Vielleicht sind die auch noch wichtig. She spun around and headed for the cyan door. I followed her on her heels. Okay. Kann ich hier skippen, weil die wieder nach Quark suchen unendlich lange? Oder treffen sie hier Luna diesmal mit Quark zusammen an? Ja. Okay, wir sehen die ganzen Leichen auf jeden Fall nochmal. Ja, Stillschweigen. Und? Ist sie jetzt warum kann ich das nicht skippen? Ist hier irgendwas anders als beim letzten Mal? Memento Mori of the Ninth Line ate the Sun. Ja. Der Kameraraum da, der Security Room. Und der Rack Room. Aber es gibt doch auch noch der Golem Bay, okay. Da ist Geolm. Mal wieder, mit durchgebranntem Kopf. Ich würde mal fast sagen, der hatte einen Burnout, wa?
Sigma, there's something I want to ask you.
What is it?
There are 3 doors here. You, Alice, and Luna went through the one on the right.
Ja,
That took you to the Golem Bay, correct?
richtig. Aber es scheint hier jetzt noch eine an zu sein, ne? Offen zu sein. According to the map, that's the door on the bottom. There's a lever on the thing in the middle, right? We pulled it and it only opened one of the doors. What about it? Ja, aber da ist jetzt auch offen.
Take a look. See the lock?
Ja. Vielleicht hat Luna das aufgemacht. Open?
Yeah.
Then who the hell opened it and how?
There's only one person who could have opened it.
Luna.
Alright. Let's head in.
Okay. Und was genau ist hier für ein Raum gewesen? Das Treatment Center, okay, dann ist Quark wohl da drin. What the heck are these things?
I think they're treatment pods of some sort.
What meant pods? Treatment pods. Even as I spoke, part of me knew what they were. I didn't know how or why, but I felt a strong sense of déjà vu when I looked at them. And suddenly realized I knew exactly how to operate the pods. It was a strange, unsettling feeling, as if somewhere deep inside was a version of myself that didn't actually know.
One of them is lit up.
The one on the left, is it being used?
The glass is all fogged up. I can't really see inside.
Let's crack it open then.
Yeah.
Und da ist Quark drin. Jo, er ist drin. Quark. Und er hat seinen hässlichen Helm wieder auf. Warum? Wieso hat er seinen hässlichen Helm wieder auf? Hat Luna Quark da reingelegt, dann das Armband zu Tenmyoji und Clover gelegt? Our feet pounded across the floor of the warehouse. Yeah.
This is it.
Quark's body bounced in my arms as I ran. His pulse and breathing were normal. He was limp and unconscious, but he was still alive. The pod's display had given us a little information on his condition. As far as we could tell, he had been given an anesthetic which had put him to sleep.
Ready?
Ja.
What's wrong? You're supposed to say, yeah, sure.
Ja, aber wo ist Luna? Is it really okay for us to just leave?
What the hell is this? You want to stay here? What if Luna kills you too?
What?
Think about it. Alice, Clover, Tenmyoji, the old woman, even Dio and Kay.
Ich glaube, du hast da was missverstanden. Die Old Woman wurde getötet von Dio und Dio wurde von Kay getötet.
There's a good chance Luna killed all of them.
But why?
Why doesn't matter. Remember what we saw on Clover's thigh?
Ja, das sieht für mich aus wie Dio 016.
And what's that the same number as?
The last 3 digits of Luna's product ID. Aber woher sollte Clover
Where
das
did we
wissen?
find the old woman's corpse?
And in the AB room that Luna came out of.
And if you're right, her brain is in the central computer
Aber ich
core.
weiß, dass die Old Woman von Dio umgebracht wurde. Weil er eigentlich nicht zu dem
That
Spiel
means
gehörte.
She could have easily moved that crane, right? She could have used it anytime she wanted.
That means that any alibi she might have for not being able to move the crane is worthless.
Exactly. She must have moved the AB room. Alice noticed it right away. At the very least, that would mean Luna had a reason to try and kill Alice.
Ja, aber die Old Woman hat sie nicht umgebracht. Das war Dio. Das hat er sogar zugegeben. To keep her quiet.
She could also have murdered Dio and Kay. Remember their star keys? Luna must have taken them, which puts her in the room with Dio and Kay.
Ja.
You understand, don't you? I admit none of this evidence is conclusive, but look at our options. You, me, Quark, and Luna. Who do you think is the most likely to be the murderer? Think this
Dio.
through, Sigma. Luna's a golem. That means she's a robot that's part of this facility, designed to do God knows what. If what you said about golems and the central computer is true, she's basically a puppet of Zero Junior's. There isn't really much of an argument to be made here. The only option is to leave her here and get out.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of the 3 laws of robotics?
Ja, sie möchte die Menschheit erhalten. A robot may not injured be a human being or through inaction allow a human being to come to harm. Sie kann also niemanden umbringen.
A robot without the 3 laws is just a bunch of metal and plastic.
Sie kann niemanden umbringen wegen der Robotic Laws, es sei denn, es dient dem Schutz der Menschheit. Okay, you're right. Let's get out of here.
Damn, don't scare me like that. Okay, I'm going to open it. You ready?
You don't have to ask me. Isn't that what you always say?
Yeah, I guess so. It's time we got out of here. Let's go.
Tja, lassen wir Luna doch alleine hier zurück. With a heavy labored groan, the number 9 door began to open. As soon as the gap was wide enough to admit her body, Fi slipped through it. I followed her through, Quark still cradled in my arms. Ja, immerhin kommen wir zu dritt hier raus und keiner davon ist ein Terrorist. Inside was a massive lift platform, like the kind used to move industrial cargo. Fi turned to face me, and I shoved Quark into her arms.
Huh?
Before she could respond, I spun around and ran. Wieso? Wieso? Jetzt kommst du hier nie wieder rein. Du kommst hier nie wieder raus. Du hast nur 9 Sekunden, dann bist du weg.
Sigma, what the hell are you thinking? Get back here!
Sorry, Fi. There's something I have to do. Take care of Quark.
No, you don't mean you're going to go find Luna? God damn it, Sigma! Think about what you're doing! Sigma! Listen to me! You can't do this!
Tja, doof, ne? Sigma, das war echt keine kluge Entscheidung, denke ich mal. Auch wenn ich mir immer noch nicht so sicher bin, ob es hier drin nicht sicherer ist als draußen. Vielleicht hättet ihr von Anfang an gar nicht erst versuchen sollen, hier rauszukommen.
The number 9 door has closed. This ends. Thank you.
Ja, das weiß ich doch.
Escape, please enjoy.
So, und jetzt suchst du nach Luna? I had no regrets. In fact, with Fi and Quark's successful escape, I felt a profound sense of relief. One of my objectives had been achieved, and a difficult choice had been made. My mind felt clear and focused, more so than it had in a long time. Alright, time to go. Luna is waiting. Ja, aber wo? Wo? Bee Garden, okay. Erfahren wir jetzt was über das Grab? Luna, I knew you'd be here.
You knew?
Oh, right. We haven't talked here in this one, huh? In diesem Paralleluniversum, stimmt.
Isn't this nice? This is the only place in this whole facility with anything green. I kind of feel silly saying it, but it makes me think of the great outdoors. I think it's the perfect place for a serious conversation.
So, also willst du jetzt eine serious conversation führen?
Being surrounded by nature makes me feel happy. I'm not sure what you meant just now, but are you talking about something that happened in another history?
Genau. What?
I know what you can do. Someone told me about it once. They said that you have the ability to transport your consciousness through time.
Who told you that? Luna looked down at the music box around her neck carefully, and delicately she twisted the dial on the bottom. Okay.
Sigma, aren't you here to ask me something? Why I killed them, perhaps?
Well, actually, I already know you didn't do it.
Oh? Why do you think I didn't do it? I'd like to know your
Ich
reason.
glaube, dass Dio das war. Und ich glaube, du kannst das nicht, weil du ein Roboter bist. Alright. I nodded and took a moment to compose my thoughts. Might as well start with the old woman. There's no point beating around the bush, I suppose. Dio killed her.
Why do you think so?
Her left arm had blood splatter all the way up to the elbow, except for a stripe on the wrist that was perfectly clean. What could have caused that? My guess is a bracelet. It got covered with blood and kept her wrist clean. Obviously, none of her bracelets had blood splatters on them, but Dio's bracelet reacted to the luminol. That meant Dio's bracelet had to have come from the old woman.
Is that your proof? That's why you think Dio killed her?
Und hat's mir gesagt. No, that's only enough to suspect him. After all, he could have just taken the bracelet after someone else killed her.
Then why are you so sure?
Because he confessed.
What?
After his bracelet reacted to the luminol, I confronted him.
Alright, fine. You caught me. I did it.
Richtig.
I killed the old bitch and took her bracelet.
Hat gesagt.
Wait, when did that happen?
In a different timeline.
Isn't that against the rules?
What rules? I hope you're not going to try and bring up Nox's 10 Commandments. Does it really matter if it's against the rules or fair? Was ist mit den 10 Commandments? Das muss ich mir gerade nochmal... war das bei den Secret Files? Nox 10 Commandments. Das war das mit dem... für Mystery Novel. Must be mentioned early on. All supernatural, preternatural agencies are ruled out. No more than one of the secret room or passage. No hitherto undiscovered poisons may be used. No, nor any appliance which will need a long scientific explanation. Meinst du wegen der Pille oder so? No one with extrasensory perception or similar powers can appear. Sigma fällt dann ja schon mal komplett raus, weil er durch die Zeiten springen kann. No accident must have ever helped the detective. Nor must he ever have an unaccountable intuition which proves to be right. The detective must not commit the crime. The detective must declare any clues he may discover. The stupid friend of the detective, the Watson, must conceal nothing from the reader. Twin brothers and doubles generally must not appear unannounced. Okay. Okay. Does it really matter if it's against the rules or fair? The truth is the truth. Let's say that incident P happens, and after that the timeline splits up into timeline A and timeline B. I don't think it's unfair to base a theory in timeline A on information I found in timeline B. After all, A and B both came from the same place, P. Ich find's übrigens, ich mag dieses gesamte Konzept von dieser Zero Escape Reihe, quasi, dass man Informationen aus anderen Zeitsträngen braucht für den aktuellen Zeitstrahl. Ich finde das ganze Ding unglaublich, ja, cool. Ich mag das Konzept einfach unglaublich gerne. If you trace the history of both timelines, you'd end up back at Incident P. Now if I could change what happened with Incident P by visiting timeline A or B, then yes, it would be a different story. I don't know that it would be unfair per se, but I'd certainly be breaking some pretty big rules. Like, you know, the principle of causality. I'm sure that Dio killed the old woman. By extension, that means you could have killed her. I'm assuming Dio wasn't originally intended to be part of the nonary game. Somehow, he got in and took the old woman's place. That's how he ended up as Quark's partner. This is just an educated guess, but I have the feeling his plan was to replace one of us. I doubt it mattered which one. I have no idea why he would want to do something like that, and I don't know how he did it either. But the fact remains that he did. He hid in the warehouse on floor A and waited for someone to come out of the AB rooms. That someone turned out to be the old woman. She left Quark asleep in the AB room and came out on her own. Somehow he managed to get close to stab her. He did it near the wall with the graffiti on it. I'm guessing he stabbed her from behind so that he wouldn't get any blood on himself. As soon as she was dead, he wrapped the knife in the handkerchief. No, wait, actually... he probably took the bracelet first. Then he would have needed to wipe the blood off, so he used the handkerchief for that too. Anyway, the point is, he got the bracelet and put it on. Then he wrapped the knife up and hid it between the rightmost AB room and its neighbor. He probably didn't expect that they'd move, or he would have put it somewhere else. After that, he headed back into the AB room that the woman had left. Quark would have still been fast asleep. So far as he knew, Dio was there the whole time. Ja, Quark hat gedacht, dass Dio die ganze Zeit da war, das weiß ich. This does raise a few other questions, but I'll save those for later. For now, let's move on to the other murders. Das ist auf jeden Fall hier das Sherlock Holmes Ending, ne? Well, actually, one of them probably isn't a murder.
What do you mean?
I'm talking about Alice. Das war der Virus. I'm pretty sure she committed suicide.
All of humanity is going to die. Adults, children, everyone. Everyone! There won't be anyone left! I'd rather die here!
She'd been infected with Radical 6. I think that infection caused her to take her own life. She used Dio's knife, which she'd found in the warehouse after the AB room moved and exposed it. She took it with her and then used it to stab herself in the crew quarters. Und dann hat Clover daraus geschlossen, dass es Luna war. Next are Clover and Tenmyoji. The first question is who put the handcuffs on them. The clue, the message Clover left, 016, ich glaube aber es sollte Dio heißen. Oder OLB. If you think about it though, it doesn't make sense. Clover's left hand was in handcuffs. That means she would have to write with her right hand on her right thigh. I feel like it would be really hard to do that, you know? Why not just use your left thigh? The thing is, I think she did. Okay, when she died, her legs slumped together and message got transferred to the right thigh. Deswegen ist sie spiegelverkehrt und deswegen heißt es Dio. We just never saw the original because we didn't bother to check the other leg. In other words, she wasn't trying to write 016, sie hat Dio geschrieben, she was trying to write Dio. Und das ist eigentlich einfach nur extrem dämlich, weil warum hat sie das D bei Dio nicht groß geschrieben, sondern klein? Warum schreibt sie ein kleines D? Das wirkt schon irgendwie ziemlich konstruiert. With her dying breath she was trying to tell us the name of her killer. War mir aber auch vorher schon klar, dass es Dio ist. Now about Kay and Dio. I think there's a pretty good chance Dio killed Kay. Here's how I imagine it happened. Kay probably sprayed Dio's bracelet with aluminum oil. We found that the bottle in Kay's robe. He wouldn't have seen the reaction immediately, but Dio would have known what was coming. As soon as Kay turned the lights off, it would be clear that Dio had taken the old woman's bracelet. My guess is he decided to take preemptive actions. When we found their bodies, the light in the rec room were on. Maybe Kay turned to switch the light off and Dio took that opportunity to attack him. Und mit letzter Kraft hat Kay ihn dann noch erstochen. Kay was hurt pretty badly, but he hadn't died right away. He probably managed to grab the spear and stab Dio. Und then he died. Und so endeten dann nur noch ich und Fee und Quark als einzige Überlebende und Luna natürlich. So that accounts for all 6 bodies. None of them your fault. Tja. Aber wer hat...
Sigma.
Und Luna hat... und Luna wurde von Clover wahrscheinlich, ne? Aus Rachegründen.
I'm glad you don't think I did it, but all of your theories are just, well, theories. Like Alice committing suicide. How can you be sure?
Weil ich das Buch gefunden habe.
Say she was infected with Radical 6. She could have been murdered before her symptoms even began to present themselves. As for Clover and Tenmyoji, I could easily have killed them. You don't have any proof that Clover's message was mirrored, like you say, or even that it was supposed to refer to Dio.
Wir können ja nachgucken, ob das mirrored war. Und außerdem, warum sollte sie 016 schreiben? Das ergibt ja gar keinen Sinn.
Even if it did, that's not conclusive evidence of his guilt. The same goes for Kay and Dio. I could have killed them both. Why do you trust me so much? I'm a machine. I'm part of this place. How can you trust a machine?
Yeah, that's why I trust you.
What?
I trust you because you're a robot. Your robotness is just one more reason you can't be the killer. Well, 3 more reasons. Die Laws of Robotic. Ja. Und die Zeroth Law natürlich.
A robot without the 3 laws.
Das kenne ich schon. Das hast du mir vor 5 Minuten gezeigt. Luna, I have to ask you. Can you tell me, well, everything you know? Your mind is in the central server. You should know everything that's happened here. There was a long pause. Luna stood up and walked deeper into the garden. I followed her in silence. Und was ist mit dem Grabstein? Das wissen wir immer noch nicht. Eventually, we reached the bench. Luna quietly sat down and, just like last time, I lowered myself down beside her.
You were right. I didn't kill them. How should I explain? Well, actually, you got most of it right.
That doesn't matter. Tell me everything.
Well, first, yes, Dio did sneak into the facility. He used the large cargo elevator and came into the warehouse on floor A through the number 9 door.
Mm-hmm.
Since the game hadn't started yet, anyone could go through it.
That doesn't really sound like sneaking. It sounds more like he just walked in.
Yes, I guess you could say that. He did get in pretty easily, but that's because Zero Jr. lured him here.
What do you mean?
Dio wasn't a surprise. Both Zeros knew that he was going to come.
Uh-huh. So they brought him here?
In a way.
But why?
Because his presence was an important part of Zero's project.
What project?
I can't go into that right now. We'd be here forever. Right now, let's just focus on the murders, okay?
Wir haben Zeit. Ich meine, wir kommen hier eh nicht mehr raus.
Anyway, Dio found his way in. They made sure he didn't know that he was actually being let in.
So, why did he come here?
To make sure Zero's project failed. His first step was to pretend to be one of the players. As for how he did that, you had it pretty much right. The old woman was the first one out, and he killed her under the graffiti. He put her bracelet on after he wiped the blood off it with the handkerchief. Then he wrapped the knife up and hid it between the 5th and 6th AB rooms,
5th and 6th?
counting from the left in their original placement.
In other words, the rightmost room would be the 6th room and the one next to it would be the 5th?
Right.
Ja, und dann ist der Raum nach darüber Und Luna hat das Ganze verschoben, weil sie zeigen wollte, dass da jemand sich eingemischt hat.
After that, he went back into the 5th AB room where Quark was sleeping. Then he just waited for Quark to wake up.
What were you doing while that was happening?
Nothing. I couldn't do anything. My body had been turned off. Zero Jr. had powered me down. My body wasn't activated until after Dio went into the 5th room. I couldn't help her. All I could do was watch while she was murdered. Everything in this place is controlled by Zero Jr.
Ich verstehe langsam überhaupt nicht mehr, was überhaupt Zeros Plan war. Weil, warum musste er unbedingt Dio mit reinlassen?
I couldn't try and prevent Dio from getting in either.
Wait, if Zero Jr. controls everything... Warte, das macht Sinn. Es macht Sinn, weil Kay hatte in seiner Geschichte ja auch erzählt, dass sich seine Mutter opfern muss für das Projekt von seinem Vater. Und genau das ist ja quasi passiert, wenn Kays Vater wirklich Zero ist und dann wäre ja seine Mutter durch dieses Projekt gestorben, geplanterweise, weil ja geplant war, dass Dio hier reinkommt. Also ist Sigma wahrscheinlich der Vater von Kay. Und somit auch Zero. Jetzt frage ich mich aber immer noch, warum? Warum musste Dio hier unbedingt teilnehmen und warum musste er auch unbedingt die alte Frau töten? Then he was the one who moved the 6th room with the crane.
Yes. That's right.
Das war Zero Jr., okay.
Zero Jr. moved the room, not me.
Then who moved the old woman?
Me. It took me 10 minutes to get out of my AB room once I was turned back on. I ran over to check on her as soon as I did. Then I carried her back to the room I'd been in.
Okay. Why did you do that?
Because I was ordered to.
What? Ja, es war alles genauso geplant von... Aber wenn Sigma wirklich Zero ist, warum erinnert er sich dann
Luna,
nicht?
listen to me very carefully.
Fällt euch gerade auf die Stimme von der Old Woman, dass das die Stimme von der Ansagerin ist, die ganze Zeit sagt, Chromatic doors have been closed. Das spricht noch mehr dafür, dass sie in alles eingeweiht war und sie auch vorher gesagt hat, dass sie sich opfert und sowas und ja. Vielleicht war Luna ursprünglich der Roboter, der als Kays Mutter gebaut wurde.
As you already know, the final stage of the project begins in 2 hours. This will be the culmination of many years of hard work. We cannot afford failure.
Yes, I understand.
Then let's make sure. What is your mission?
Enter the nonary game as one of the participants and observe the actions of the other players. Ensure that they do what they are supposed to and guide them down the correct paths.
How many players will there be?
Myself and 7 others, ma'am.
Ja, und sie, die durch Dio ersetzt wird.
Will you be participating as well?
Yes. Our plan dictates that I must.
Und sie muss sterben.
An individual by the name of Dio will be entering this facility presently. He has been led to believe he is doing so undetected. You've been briefed on him already, correct?
Yes. He will murder the first person to leave one of the AB rooms and take their place.
Ja, Und sie kennt natürlich die Lösung zu allen Rätseln und ist deswegen die First Person.
If a pair is the first out, he'll probably kill both of them. That's all the information I've been given on him, ma'am.
Is there a problem?
With all due respect, ma'am, I would like to state that I don't feel right about this. We know someone is going to be killed, and we're just going to let it happen? I also have doubts about the use of Radical 6. Are you sure?
Okay. The use of Radical 6. Also gehe ich mal schon davon aus, dass das wurde uns ja auch in einem Secret File gesagt, was man in dem Spiel selbst nicht erfährt, sondern nur in diesem Secret File, dass etwas an der Nadel bereits dran war und die schon ins Fleisch gepackt wurde. Also wurden die tatsächlich absichtlich mit Radical 6 infiziert.
Infecting all these people with such a horrible disease.
That is none of your concern. Your only concern is to follow your orders.
But...
Luna, I am giving you an order. I am in command, and you do as I say.
Okay.
You are programmed to do as I say. You know this.
Ich bin mir mittlerweile überhaupt nicht mehr sicher, ob das June ist. Aber irgendwie scheint ja Tenmyoji sie auch gekannt zu haben.
Yes.
Good. Now, I have one final order.
Another order, ma'am?
Yes. When you leave the AB room, the person Dio has killed will still be there. I would like you to move them.
Where?
To the room you are about to enter. The 6th AB room.
But... why?
Not your concern. As a participant in the game, you must have as little knowledge of it as possible. That is why I have made sure you are unable to access any classified data. There are things you must not know. In order for this project to succeed, we need you to be as close to a clean slate as possible. There are some things you already know, which unfortunately this is unavoidable, so you must refrain from divulging anything you know about the project to the other participants. You must never tell anyone what you know about Dio, or the body, or that you carried it to the 6th AB room.
Ich verstehe immer noch nicht, worum es in diesem Nonary-Game gehen soll. Soll es darum gehen, dass Zero halt selbst an diesem Spiel teilnimmt, einfach nur um das Springen in den Zeitlinien zu erforschen?
You will have to pretend you know nothing more than the rest of the participants.
Is that an order?
Und warum weiß Sigma selbst, wenn er Zero ist, nichts von alledem?
Yes. Do I make myself clear?
Yes.
Okay.
After that, I went into the AB room as I'd been told to. As soon as I stepped inside, my body deactivated. But since my brain is in the main computer, I was still awake.
Und hat alles gesehen.
So I still saw everything. While I waited, I used the security cameras to see what was going on in the rest of the facility.
And you saw the old woman being murdered.
Yes, it was hard. What I was seeing made no sense. Several of my higher level processes nearly failed.
Aber du kannst ja auch, wenn du die alte Frau kennst, uns endlich mal verraten, wer es ist.
To think that she would be the first person to come out.
Das war wahrscheinlich so geplant.
I think she knew that Dio was going to kill her. When she'd said she had one final order for me, I didn't understand what she meant.
Weil es passt ja auch zu dem, was Kay gesagt hat, dass sie vorher schon gesagt hat, sie würde sich opfern.
Like a fool, I told her I didn't approve, when I had no idea what she was prepared to do. When she died, whatever I have that passes for a heart felt like it snapped in two.
Mhm. Was jetzt mit dem Grabstein? I think I understand. Everything you did because you'd been ordered to.
Yes.
And it was the old woman who gave you those orders. Then is she Zero Senior?
No.
What? But if she gave you the orders...
She did, but she wasn't the only person I took orders from.
There was someone else?
Yes.
And that person is Zero Senior?
Yes. They worked together to develop the project she mentioned. So I suppose, technically, my orders came from both of them. And they were both controlling Zero Junior, too.
Okay.
I told you before that Zero Junior moved the 6th AB room. Although that's strictly true, he didn't do it of his own free will. They ordered him to do it. He was following orders just like me.
But why? Und warum ist in der einen Zeitlinie die alte Frau gar nicht aufgetaucht?
I don't know. I really don't. Maybe they did it so that people wouldn't suspect me.
If they didn't want people to suspect you, then why have you moved? Then why have you moved the body in the first place? Eventually we'd figured out that the rooms had been moved and that she was in your room.
Then maybe they wanted the opposite.
You mean...
Maybe they wanted you to suspect me.
That doesn't make sense either. If they wanted people to suspect you, why move the room?
You're right.
Vielleicht wollten die auch einfach, dass genau das alles passiert, was jetzt gerade passiert. Und zwar, dass du das rausfindest mit Dio und so weiter.
Then maybe they only wanted certain people to be suspicious of me.
You mean like Alice?
Yes. Perhaps they wanted Alice to find the handkerchief and the knife. That would explain why they moved the room.
So, they somehow knew Dio would hide the knife there.
Yes, I think so.
But how could they know that? Sie sind einfach Genies.
Well, whatever the reasons were, Alice did notice that the room was moved, which meant that Clover also figured it out. And just like you said, Alice used the knife to take her life.
Und Clover hat auf dich geschossen dann.
Clover didn't realize that, though. Or perhaps she didn't want to. In any event, she decided that I must have killed Alice to keep her quiet. So she confronted me. It was right after the second round of the AB game. Using Phi's timetable, that would be 0 hours, 0 minutes.
Wait, you were listening to us in the security office? Sie kriegt doch alles mit.
That wasn't all I was listening to, though. I know everything that happened in the facility after my body collapsed.
You were watching through the security cameras.
Yes, I was. I could see and hear everything. Anyway, we're at 0 hours, 0 minutes. I was in the hallway on floor A when Clover found me and took me to room 2 in the crew quarters. We entered at about 0 hours, 1 minute. She was very forceful.
I know you killed Alice. Tell me the truth and I'll let you live. Now fess up!
Ah.
I'm only gonna give you one chance.
Diesmal hören wir die Konversation dann auch.
If you lie or try to play dumb or something, I'll kill you right in front of her!
I told her the truth, of course. I explained that I hadn't killed Alice. That she'd been infected with Radical 6, and it had caused her to kill herself. Clover was never going to believe that, though. We argued about it for nearly 9 minutes. It wasn't just Alice she asked me about. She asked me about the murder of the old woman, and about the AB room being moved. She wasn't very nice about it, but I couldn't answer any of her questions.
Because of your orders?
Yes. Then, at about 0 hours, 10 minutes, she must have run out of patience. She stuck her hand in her pocket and started moving toward me. She backed me up against the wall and pulled her hand out of her pocket. She was holding the injection gun.
Ja, und damit hat sie dich dann angeschossen.
I tried to take it away from her. I even screamed for help. She refused to let go, of course, while we were fighting over it.
Schuss. Aber war das nicht im Nacken? Well, hold on a minute. The trigger got pulled in the fight, I get that part. What I don't understand is why it did anything to you.
You mean because I'm a golem?
Ja, aber müsste dich... Ich dachte, das war im Hals, dann der Schuss. Yeah.
One of my orders was always to act like I was one of the players. A human. Any human injected with that amount of tubocurarine would die.
That's why you, died. To keep up the facade that you were human?
No, I collapsed because Zero Jr. turned off the power to my body again. He probably felt he had to. Maintaining the illusion that I was human was probably in his orders too. So to make it look like I had died, he turned the power off.
Okay.
Whatever the case, it was an accident. I don't think Clover ever intended to actually kill me. She only took the injection gun to try and threaten me.
How can you be sure?
When I collapsed, she looked terrified. She checked for my pulse and listened to see if I was breathing. She also shook my body and called out to me several times. If she'd meant to kill me, why do all that?
Yeah.
After a few moments, she ran off to the infirmary to get the AED.
You mean the defibrillator?
Yes,
That uses an electric shock to restart the heart, right?
correct.
So that was why she left?
Yes.
Also hat Kay nicht versucht, sie wieder zu beleben, sondern nur Clover? At 0 hours 11 minutes 4 seconds, Clover left the cabin in the crew quarters.
She ran off toward the infirmary. On the way, she bumped into Dio.
Dio?
Yes, I guess she just saw him, really. They didn't talk. She just ran past.
And he just watched her go by.
Yes, I imagine he was curious, of course. He probably wondered what she was doing, but he chose not to go after her. He had something else to do.
Ja, eine Bombe da zu platzieren, ne? At 0 hours 12 minutes, Dio enters the room.
He seemed pretty surprised to find my body.
Yeah, I bet.
It didn't take him long to get over it, though.
Wouldn't imagine it would. What did he do then?
He'd gone there for 2 reasons. One was to get Alice's bracelet, which was a blue solo.
Right. Without a Dio and Kay, the yellow pair wouldn't be able to get through the secondary door. Right?
Yeah, but he couldn't find it.
Of course. If I had already taken it by then.
Yes, but there was something else he wanted to do too. He was there to take the knife.
Yeah.
Removing it was gruesome.
But why did he want the knife? Weil da Myrmidon drauf stand? Was it because he'd used it to kill the old woman?
No, I don't think so.
Er wollte nicht rausfinden, dass wir ein Myrmidon sind. Then what do you think?
I think he didn't want anyone to see the engraving on the knife's blade.
Richtig.
That's why he hid it so well after he killed the old woman.
Why wouldn't he want anyone to see that?
Do you remember what it said? There was a word engraved on the blade.
Ja, und dann wüsste Clover ja sofort Bescheid. Myrmidons.
Yes.
What does Myrmidons... Das weißt du doch!
It's the name of the organization he belongs to.
What is it? Like a club or something?
I don't think so.
Du weißt es doch. Well, what is it then?
I don't really know.
No idea.
I'm afraid not.
Wait, wasn't he here to try and stop whatever Zero was doing?
Yes.
Then... Wouldn't that mean that he's on our side?
I don't know about that.
Ich glaube, Zero ist auf unserer Seite mehr.
He's killed 4 people. I'm not really sure he's on anyone's side.
You've got a point. Damn it, this is ridiculous. I guess this enemy of my enemy isn't my friend, huh?
May I continue?
Yeah, keep going. Du weißt nicht, ob Zero wirklich dein Feind ist. Auch wenn ich mir nicht mehr sicher bin, was Zeros Pläne an sich überhaupt sind, wenn er die Leute extra mit dem Virus infiziert. Und ich gehe halt immer noch davon aus, dass Kays Vater Zero ist und im Prinzip somit auch Sigma, weil Kay wurde nach seinem Ebenbild geschaffen und ist ein Klon von Sigma quasi und deswegen denke ich mal, dass Sigma Zero ist und Zero nicht sein Feind ist und wenn doch, dann hat er halt einen ziemlichen Selbsthass. Yeah, keep going. After he took the knife, Dio rifled through what few belongings Alice had. Luna said he didn't seem to be looking for anything in particular. He was probably just checking to see if she had anything useful. That was where he found the key to Kay's suit. He didn't seem to have any particular reason for taking it, at least as far as Luna could tell. At 0 hours 13 minutes, Dio left the room.
He heard Kay opening the cyan door and ran out. When he left, he was heading toward the infirmary. My guess is that he was going after Clover.
Okay, und dann kam Kay.
He found her with the AED. She was probably planning to just ignore him and head back, but Dio didn't let her.
Hey, wait. Just what are you planning to do with that thing? Thinking about trying to resuscitate Luna? And why would you want to do that? You were the one who killed her, weren't you?
When Clover tried to push past Dio, Luna said they began to fight.
The fuck do you think you're doing?
Dio pulled the knife out of his pocket and pointed it at Clover's throat. That was when he showed up. Tenmyoji? Yep.
Dio, what the hell are you doing?
None of your goddamn business. Stay out of this, you senile old shit.
Like hell, you son of a bitch.
Und deswegen waren die da dran gekettet. He let out a yell and leapt toward Dio. The younger man dodged him easily and lashed out with a knife. Ach ja, hat ja Tenmyoji auch geschnitten. Tenmyoji caught Dio's hand with a grunt and for a moment the two men struggled. Then, as the knife edged closer, he wrapped his other hand around the blade and tried to force it away. Ja, so ist er dann geschnitten worden. But Dio was a much younger and stronger man, and the wound Tenmyoji gave himself with the knife didn't do him any favors. He put up a valiant fight, but with a roar, Dio threw him off, and Tenmyoji collapsed to the floor.
What are you going to do?
Let's see. How about this?
Und so hat er die beiden dann da dran gefesselt. Und
How cute.
Und zum Schluss hat sie dann noch Dio geschrieben.
You two really look great together, you know?
What are you going to do to us?
Isn't it obvious? I'm gonna handcuff you to a sink. Actually, I already have.
Are you gonna beat us to death or something?
No. Nothing so tasteless.
Nee, er wartet einfach, bis das Limit abläuft.
What are you going to do then?
How'd you like to make a bet?
A bet?
You've got, 20-some minutes until the primary white doors open. So I'd say you've got 25 minutes until they close. Give or take. If somebody happens to come by here before the doors close, you might live. But if nobody finds you, well...
We'll be penalized.
Exactly. So, I suggest you start screaming for help now. Unfortunately for you, just about all the rooms in this place are behind at least 2 nice thick doors.
Sie hat hier schon Blut am Finger, will ich nur mal sagen. Das passt nicht, zeitlich gesehen.
So unless they're pretty close, nobody's gonna hear you scream. Well, I'm off to the Floor B warehouse, okay? Enjoy your last 25 minutes. Later.
Okay. Und was ist mit Kay passiert?
25 minutes passed and no one came.
Er hat auf jeden Fall den Schlüssel gefunden.
Of course, by then there were only 3 other people who could have come, apart from Dio.
You mean me, Fi and Kay, right?
Yes, you were in the crew quarters at this point.
Yeah. Also quasi direkt nebenan. Kay had told us about you. We'd also noticed that the knife in Alice's chest had been removed. If only we'd known what was happening in the infirmary.
Unfortunately for Clover and Tenmyoji, their time had come. Once the primary white door closed, both of their bracelets injected them with Soparil.
The anesthetic, right?
Yes. Almost immediately they started to feel sleepy. I think that's when Clover realized she was definitely going to die.
Und dann hat sie die Nachricht geschrieben.
That was when she decided to leave her message. just as you said. She wrote on her left thigh with her right hand.
Ja, und warum hat sie ein kleines D geschrieben? And the word she wrote was Dio.
Yes.
Okay. So ist das zustande gekommen.
As for what happened in the rec room, well, I guess I don't really need to tell you. Your theory was essentially correct. What you said was what happened.
Okay. Guck mal, wir sind ein richtiger Sherlock. So, Kay sprayed Dio's bracelet with aluminol and then, while his back was turned, Dio attacked with the axe. Dio mortally wounded him, but didn't kill him, so Kay turned around and stabbed Dio with a spear. And I guess that's when we found them.
Yes.
When did Kay get the luminol?
After they went through the white door, Dio and Kay found themselves in the director's office. When they were done there, they headed back to floor A to look for everyone else. They went to the crew quarters first, then to the infirmary. Of course, they found Clover and Tenmyoji's bodies there. Dio expected to find them, of course, but he pretended to be shocked. Anyway, Kay checked them over for anything useful.
And that was when he found the luminol.
Right.
Weil Tenmyoji das hatte, ja. Okay. Soweit, so gut. Aber das haben wir uns ja alles schon gedacht.
That's everything that happened. Do you have any questions?
Well, what do you think? Does a bear shit in the woods? Well, the first thing is Quark's bracelet. Why was it in the infirmary?
Tenmyoji had it. Then when Dio attacked him, it fell out of his pocket.
But why did Tenmyoji have Quark's bracelet?
I told him where it was.
When?
Do you remember when you were in the rec room with Phi and Tenmyoji?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when he sprayed us with aluminol, right? Sure, I remember that.
Right after then. When he left the rec room, he went toward the green door to look for Quark. I ran into him at the end of the hallway, where the 3 doors and the switch are. That was when I told him.
Okay.
Look, Tenmyoji, the center door is unlocked. He took off through it without another word.
Hast du die unlocked? That was the treatment room, right?
Yes.
Where Quark was sleeping?
Right. It only took him a moment. As soon as he saw Quark, he ran to his pod and started crying.
Out of relief, right?
Yes. The display on the pod showed Quark's vital signs. It was obvious he was alive the moment he looked at it. Next to the pod was Quark's bracelet. That was how Tenmyoji got it.
Why was Quark's bracelet off?
I took it off.
Und er hat nicht versucht, damit wegzulaufen. How?
Aluminum foil.
What? You mean the stuff from the crew quarters?
Oh, you found it? Did you know that aluminum foil has electromagnetic shielding properties?
What? Das heißt, mit der Aluminiumfolie könnte man das Bracelet einfach abnehmen?
Here's an exciting fact. Your heart creates a bunch of faint electrical impulses. Anyway, the point is that you can detect the electricity that your heart makes by pumping blood.
Und damit könnte man diese Elektrizität abschirmen. Wir könnten einfach alle unsere Armbänder loswerden.
Fancy little bracelets pick up on that. They're always watching.
Wait, so you're telling me the aluminum foil can block the electromagnetic waves your heart sends out?
Yes. All you have to do is wrap it around your bracelet.
And the bracelet thinks your heart has stopped?
Yes.
Holy shit. It was that easy all along?
Anyway, I used some aluminum foil to get Quark's bracelet off. Then I put it next to the pod.
Wait. Why was Quark in the pod to begin with?
Oh, that's easy. I put him there.
Da habe ich mir schon gedacht. When did you do that?
Remember when we were first looking for Quark? I found him unconscious near the entrance to the Golem Bay.
So you carried him to the treatment pod?
Yes.
Were you the only one? Were you the one who unlocked the treatment center too?
No, I was not.
Das war Zero.
I do not have the authority to operate any of this
Dann
facility's
war es
machinery.
Zero Junior. So it was Zero Junior.
That's right.
He reactivated your body too, right? Man, I don't get any of this. Why the hell did he do that? I guess it wasn't really him that did it, huh? He was just doing what Zero Senior and the old lady told him to do. Everything leads back to them, huh? Huh, of course it does. Ja. Ist die alte Lady wirklich Arkane oder nicht? So are you going to tell me?
Tell you what?
Isn't that obvious? Tell me what this project is. Everything that happens in here has something to do with it. So, why were we brought here?
To play the nonary game.
And why were we supposed to play the nonary game?
That was part of the project.
Ja, aber warum? Why did Alice kill herself?
Because she was infected with Radical 6.
How did she get infected?
Zero Senior and the old woman did that.
Why?
It was a necessary evil. It had to happen for the project to succeed.
Dann erzähl mir doch endlich mit diesem Project, was es damit auf sich hat. What would have happened if Alice hadn't committed suicide?
Clover wouldn't have suspected me, and she wouldn't have accidentally, killed me.
Then what?
I wouldn't have collapsed, and Dio wouldn't have found my body. That would have meant the confrontation in the infirmary never took place.
In other words, you're saying Clover and Tenmyoji died for this project?
Yes.
Well, actually it was the tubercularine that killed them. But they were only injected with it because of their bracelets. And they were only wearing those bracelets because of the nonary game. If the nonary game was part of the project, then that's one more way to... it killed them.
I guess, if you want to look at it that way.
Now, what about Kay and Dio? Why would they kill each other?
Because Dio killed the old woman. He was worried about getting caught, so he tried to kill Kay before he could find out the truth.
Ja, vor allem, weil das Kays Mutter war. Then if Dio hadn't killed the old lady, what happened in the rec room would never have taken place, right?
Yes.
So let me ask you this. Why did Dio kill her?
So that he could pose as one of the participants.
And why did he do that?
To disrupt the project.
Then why did she let him kill her?
The same reason they did all of this. It was a necessary evil. The project couldn't be allowed to fail.
Ja, aber warum ist mit eingeplant, dass da jemand drin ist, der das Projekt scheitern lassen will? Statt ihn einfach zu beseitigen. Und hätte man das nicht so planen können, dass Dio einfach so mit dabei ist? 6 people died here. 4 of them were murdered, one way or another, by Dio. At first that makes it look like Dio's the reason they all died, but that's not true, is it? All of them, all 6 of them, they all died for this project. That means that the murderer, or I guess I should say murderers, were the old lady and Zero Senior, right? Ja, vor allem das mit dem Radical 6. Please, Luna, tell me. What is this project about? Who is the old woman? Who is Zero? Das darf sie wahrscheinlich nicht sagen, ne?
Sigma.
Hm?
Would you hug me?
What? Okay. Instead of answering, Luna wrapped her arms around me and buried her face in my chest. My own arms hovered in the air, confused about where they should go. I swallowed hard and tried to rein in my heartbeat, which had suddenly doubled. Oh my god, empfindest du gerade etwas? I was about to speak when I felt something warm on my chest. It was Luna. Crying?
This feels nice.
Her voice shook as she spoke. I lowered one hand to her head and began to gently stroke her hair. Huh? Hey, Luna. What the hell is going on?
I'm sorry. My ABT is usually held in place by muscle fiber, but after Clover gave me the tubocurarine...
Okay. I get it.
Does it scare you?
Nee.
This is what I really look like. I'm a golem. Just a machine. A jumble of metal and plastic that pretends to be real.
Solange du dich an die Regeln hältst, bist du doch nicht nur ein Stück Metall und Plastik. I wrapped my arms around Luna and hugged her as tight as I could.
You believed in me this whole time.
Yeah.
Even though I look like this?
Of course. I trust you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I wish I could stay here forever. You feel so nice. But I think my time is up.
What?
I've done things I really shouldn't have. Do you remember what you asked me earlier? About if Zero Jr. had reactivated my body? Remember? The truth is, he didn't. I did.
Was?
I went to the part of the core that controls Zero Jr. and I hacked it.
What?
Yes, that was the first thing. The second. Do you know what the second one was? If I had really wanted to, I could have saved Clover and Tenmyoji. Then Kei and Dio probably wouldn't have killed each other. That's not all. I could have stopped Alice from killing herself. And I could have even saved the old woman at the very beginning.
Aber damit müsstest du dich deinen Orders widersetzen,
In
ne?
other words, I had the ability to disobey my orders. But I didn't. That's the second thing. I broke the first law. I was scared. I was afraid to die. Obviously, hacking the core and taking control of Zero Jr.'s systems is very, very bad. Golems who don't follow orders can become dangerous, so we're terminated if we disobey. You lose access to your body, of course, but everything that's stored in the core, your memories, your consciousness, is deleted.
What? Wait, are you saying...
Yes. Very soon now I'll be gone.
Und wir sind hier ganz alleine.
Zero Jr. is probably recovering himself right now. Once he's done, I doubt I'll be around much longer.
What? Why?
I watched 6 people die and did nothing. I deserved this.
No. No, you don't. Oh Mann, ich krieg Tränen in den Augen. Even if you had done something, you would have been killed anyway. You can't blame yourself. You did what you could. You're not wrong. This game is what's wrong. Forcing you to watch your friends die is what's wrong.
Oh, Sigma, thank you. I'm really glad I met you.
Luna. Luna! It's going to be okay. I'm not gonna let them do this. You're gonna be fine, I promise. Just please don't.
I'm sorry. My time's up. At least I get to die in your arms.
Luna.
Thank you, Sigma. And goodbye, Doctor.
Doktor? Ja, Doktor. Hab's mir schon gedacht, but she couldn't answer. Hab mir schon gedacht, dass er der Vater von Kei ist. Der ja auch ein Doktor im Bereich der Klonen-Dings war, ne? I squeezed my eyes shut and held her, unable to bear the thought of letting any more of her slip away. Ich glaube mittlerweile auch, die Old Woman ist nicht Akane, aber sie sieht halt so ähnlich aus und deswegen hat Tenmyoji sie vielleicht da mit ihr verwechselt oder so. Ich weiß es nicht. I squeezed my eyes shut and held her, unable to bear the thought of letting any more of her slip away. Das war dann wohl das Luna-Ende, ne? With one last quiet chime, the music box wound down. I was left with nothing but silence and the cold pool of tears over my heart. Ja. Das war das Luna-Ende. Oh mein Gott, das war heartbreaking, sage ich einfach mal. Heartbreaking, wirklich heartbreaking. So, und wir wissen jetzt das mit der Aluminiumfolie. Deswegen denke ich mal, kommen wir auch da an der Stelle weiter. Crew Quarters is the proof it wasn't murder. Moment, das nicht. Aber hier, 5 Minutes of Life. Da kommen wir weiter. So, beim nächsten Mal. Hier brauchen wir die Bombenpasswörter. Wir haben bis jetzt 2, uns fehlen noch 1 im Prinzip. Und das von der Zero-Bombe haben wir auch, aber machen wir beim nächsten Mal, glaube ich, hier an der Stelle weiter. Proof it wasn't murder. Bis dann, Leute. Ciao.